Okay.
Now,
Okay.
do I look at you or the camera, or what do I do when I'm being...
Just be natural. You can look at her when
Okay.
she's asking
You
you a
can look at me,
question.
you can look
Okay, that's
whatever
fine.
you want. Okay, what is your name?
My name is Jerry Moore,
Okay, and you graduated when?
1972.
Okay. What were some major historical moments in your high school career?
As far as for the school or for myself? For the school?
Either one.
Well, the gymnastics team won a bunch of state championships, and the Triangle was a very good student newspaper. I learned a great deal writing for it my senior year.
That's cool. Awesome. What was the school atmosphere like when you were there?
We had 3,000 students approximately, or 3,200 for 3 grades, just sophomores through seniors, and we had different shifts. So it was a crowded school, and it was difficult to know everybody, but it still was a very positive atmosphere thanks to Judson Earn, who was our principal at that time.
What did you enjoy most about your high school career?
I enjoyed being in journalism the most. I started doing that my senior year.
And you were just in Triangle?
I wrote for the Triangle, and I took a class from the late Keith Wellman, and he was an excellent journalism teacher.
Awesome. What was the rivalry between North and East like? Or there wasn't an East, right?
There was no East.
North.
It was Shelbyville and Seymour mostly who were our biggest rivals at that time.
Gotcha. And were there like lots of like rallies, or like during like the games, were there like a lot of rivalry?
There was a great deal of rivalry in Shelbyville. When I was in 9th grade, they threw eggs and tomatoes at our bus after we beat them in basketball. But that was 9th grade.
Gotcha. Okay. What was your favorite class and why?
Well, my favorite class was journalism, and the reason is, when I was a junior, my English teacher, Andy Galbraith, asked me if I was going to go to college. And I said I didn't know. He said, well, you need to go to college and major in journalism. And so he took me the next day to meet Keith Wellman, who was the journalism teacher. And so we made a commitment where I would be in journalism the next year, and then I would write for the Triangle. I cover sports. And that changed my life because that enabled me to go to college. So that was my favorite class.
Cool. And your favorite teacher, was that him?
Well, I had 2. It'd be Keith Wellman and Andy Galbraith.
Gotcha. So why was the other one your favorite teacher?
Andy Galbraith, Mr. Galbraith, because he was the one who initiated everything by asking me if I was going to college.
Gotcha.
That was the reason.
Okay. What were your favorite restaurants in Columbus and while you were in high school?
The Ponderosa Steakhouse, I'd say, was my favorite one.
Why?
I like to eat steak, medium.
Gotcha. What was the hip place to meet up in high school?
A&W Root Beer.
Gotcha. The root beer stand over.
Yeah, Becker's now, yes.
Yeah. Who was the principal?
Judson Earn. And one thing about him, he learned every student's name. He made it a point to call all of us by our names.
That's so cool. Did you have to do a senior project, and if so, what was yours?
We did not have those back then.
Okay, gotcha. What did the yearbook look like when you were in high school?
It was about 200 pages, and it was excellent, except they got the names of the students on their photos in wrong order. And so it might have somebody named Tim Brown. It might have his actual name be Tim Brown. It might have had Sally Locust or something. I mean, that's just how it was.
How many people were in the school total? It was 3,000, correct?
3,200 or 3,000, yes.
Gotcha. What were the hot styles then? Like, what would you wear to school, and like, what was like the thing that you guys like all did?
Okay, we weren't allowed to wear shorts or anything like that, but most of us just wore normally blue jeans, Levi's is what kind we wore, and just usually I think t-shirts if I remember right.
Okay. What was the defining moment of your high school experience?
The defining moment would have been writing for the student newspaper and interviewing Bill Stearman one time. He was the basketball coach, and I was still one of the final 16 players on the team at that point, and it was a preseason interview for a story, and it was very awkward interviewing him, not knowing if I was going to be on the team or.
That's funny. What, in your opinion, made your time at North unique?
I would say having a big school atmosphere really prepared me to go to Indiana University and be at a big college then. And a lot of your people who went to smaller colleges had a very difficult time coping at IU.
What clubs or sports were you in, and how was your experience?
Okay, as far as I didn't letter in anything in sports, but as far as clubs, I was in a dean's advisory. I was on dean's advisory committee my senior year, and also, like I said, wrote for the student newspaper.
Gotcha. Why did you choose to participate in these activities?
This today, or those activities? Okay, I understand. Okay, well, the reason was I wanted to learn how to write for the writing, covering sports for the newspaper, and that prepared me well because we had a student teacher who got me on the student newspaper at IU then as a freshman covering sports. As far as the Dean's Advisory Committee, it allowed me to get to know the faculty better, and I got to interact with the other members, and we did things to improve the school.
What was your favorite part about being involved in this? And what was the defining news moment during your time at North? So like example, the Vietnam War during the 70s and the moon landing in the 60s. What was like the defining news moment? Did anything happen during your high school career?
I really can't think of anything that had that big of an impact on my life at that time.
Okay. How have you seen North change over the course of not only your high school career, but throughout your life?
Right, as far as how it's changed, it's it's amazing right now, the gymnasium, and to be honest with you, when I came here today, I had a hard time finding my way around the school. It's very big and it's very nice.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. How did the extracurricular that you took part in shape you as a person? Like you said, journalism.
Yes.
How has that shaped you as a person?
Yes, well, first of all, it gave me something to major in college, and I don't think I would have gotten through college if I'd majored in anything besides journalism. Maybe English, that was my minor. And so I got a college degree and started as a sports editor of a newspaper, and I did that for almost 2 years. But after that, just having the college degree and work experience helped me land jobs later.
That's really cool. And so that's why they are meaningful to you, is to get the jobs and stuff.
Yes, it really helped prepare me for college here at Columbus North, or Columbus High School when I was here.
And this isn't on there, but the one thing I wanted to ask you is there like a particular article or like column you wrote that you're like extremely proud of and like still remember to this day for the Triangle?
You know, really, I can't think of anything that I wrote. It's been so long, and I apologize for that.
That's okay.
And I wasn't that good of a writer starting out.
It takes a lot of
But I
practice.
learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you both very
Thank you
much.
so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
man.
our first person.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
awesome.